Hey World of Warcraft fans, welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today we're talking about class guides, because one question that has come up very often since the beginning of this channel is, can you make a guide on this for me? Can you make a guide for this? Where do I find this? Where do I find that? I have to say, that's not possible for me. So knowing everything in detail about all classes is absolutely not doable for me as a single person. Guides are very time consuming. But at this point, I'll show you again where, in my opinion, you get the best information. There are free sources for that. I'll say something about all of them, so feel free to check them out and keep in mind that things will probably change a bit for you, especially when it comes to talents and so on for your class. We'll go through all of this and get started. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and just a quick little greeting.
Holy Energy is the sugar-free alternative to traditional energy drinks without artificial nonsense in a variety of delicious flavors. Holy Energy is the perfect alternative for you if you need energy but want to avoid sugar, calories, a caffeine crash, and so on. Preparation is very simple. Put water in the shaker and feel free to add a few ice cubes. Add the powder, give it a quick shake, and your delicious energy drink is ready to take with you. But if you say you don't want to consume too much caffeine, Holy also has iced tea. It's also available in a variety of delicious flavors, and the best part is both the energy drink and the iced tea are available in sample packs, so check out the links in the video description and my codes. You can save a lot, and I hope you enjoy Holy.
So, as I said, let's get started. Point number one that I would recommend to you is actually Discord servers. I actually hate Discord, honestly. I can't really do much with it, but I'll also put that in the video description for you. It's just a coincidence that this overview is from Wowhead. There is basically a specific Discord for every class, where there are categories for the individual specs. There are guides there, and there's a lot of discussion. It gets really detailed there, and you can ask your own questions. So really, for those who want to invest the maximum amount of time, these Discord servers are actually the best alternative, in my opinion. It's fun to follow the discussions there, you understand things better. And as I said, if something is unclear to you, you'll immediately find someone you can ask questions to. So in my opinion, that would be the best alternative for those who really want to invest time. For everyone else, there are various sites. Point 1, Wowhead. Point 2, Icy Veins. You can argue about which one is better. Wowhead has recently lost a lot of guide writers to Icy Veins, which apparently is spending a lot of money on guide writers. But in the end, I'll post this overview page for you in the video description. And there you can click on your class at any time, and the guides are generally up to date. For example, for the new patch, they already are. We can see here, updated on the 11th. And there you'll actually find everything you need to know. First of all, your best in slot gear. There are overviews of what you should craft, in which order, which embellishments you should use, and so on and so forth. That's also very useful. There you actually get everything that's important for you. It's about the Omnium tomes, what you should pick there. How you upgrade your gear. So what you should preferably spend your crests on, what you should preferably spend your bonus rolls on. Here you see a complete overview with Biscuit, and actually the most important part, the talent builds. There you can actually copy the talents at any time. I have to say, especially when it comes to the raid, these are kept very general. So here they just use some random raid build. But in theory, raid builds vary. So one fight has 3 targets, another has 1. Accordingly, different talents are needed. Here I would recommend warcraftlogs.com. So if you're really going to raid, before Mythic Raid, I always looked at what the best balanced druids were playing, which talents they were using, and then I just saved a separate setup for each boss here in the talent manager. Also keep in mind that it definitely makes sense to check every few days or every week or two, especially at the start of a patch. Talents might have changed because there is still class tuning happening. And here you can see, for example, in the background is the 12.0 build. Now let's put in the one from 12.1 and see something actually changed in 2 places. And apparently now you run different talents. But as I said, I would definitely check that again, especially at the beginning of a patch. Is that still up to date? Was there maybe a class tuning, or did people find out while playing that there are actually builds that are better? So these builds here are based on data mining and PTR gameplay. But especially when more people play and more gear comes into play, things can still change a bit. But basically here you get the most important things you need to know at a glance. There's also a cheat sheet like this for every class. The most important talents are listed there. Your consumables that you want to use are listed there. The stats you want to have are also listed there. So here in the quick overview, you can simply see what's most important. And the whole thing works exactly the same way on Icy Veins in the end, right? You can see that here on this page as well. You can click on your class and your spec at any time, and you'll always end up on the updated guide. What I like a bit better here, I think the guides are written in a more organized way. Partially. They directly include the changes from the previous patch. So that's quite clear, and you can see it right here in an overview, how good your class is currently in the different categories. So for damage, it's 4 out of 5, raid, 4 out of 5 mythic plus, 5 out of 5 utility, 5 out of 5. Survivability has been a weakness for Boomkin for years, 3 out of 5. And mobility, 4 out of 5. So all in all, that looks pretty good so far. There's also a leveling mode here. There's an easy mode where it's explained simply what you should take. The rotation is explained to you on both sides, of course. Here you could, for example, take a look. There is, or rather, here we have the Mythic Plus build. This one is marked here for high keys. Then you could export it now and basically import it again and see does it vary. And there we can see, for example, they take different talents at 2 points, actually even 3. They pick different damage talents compared to Wowhead. So yeah, so let's see which one will be better in the end. But that's kind of the point. Which is why I would recommend that you also check out other things. There is rarely just one truth, especially now at the beginning of a patch. And the more information you gather, the better. And here, for example, I look at where they made different choices. Like, for example, WoW. For example, they picked up the Astral Union talent here. For that, they aren't running Meteorite here. It was also nerfed again recently on the PTR. And those would be the points I would look at now, as soon as the first week of Mythic Plus is over, which builds are being played more. And then you can react to that. Yeah, and with that, we're basically done. Thank you all very much for watching. All important links are in the video description. And with that, see you in the next video. Have a good time and take care.